I do believe we are in the end of days, but I think it's end of days as in the old days, the old systems, the old ideologies and ideals, the old ways of how society is, and I think we've shifted.
It feels like blessings keep falling off my lap, or whatever Chance said. As we suffer through this pandemic, it starts to feel like the end of days, which is why that is today's selection on our jukebox. This is the podcast that you'll never look back on. Oh, it's Rwebel Radio, and now let's get to the show. That, my friends, is the sound of a paintbrush, which means it's time for Art Echo. It's the end of days, end of times. My oh my, up in a blaze, you can't hide. Why oh why are the kids afraid? Mama cries. God packed his bags and said bye-bye. God packed her bags and said bye-bye. These are the lyrics to the End of Days song by Mariba, Spillage Village, Earth Gang Jid, Jordan Bryant, and Hollywood JB. And really, these chilling lyrics are a harrowing reminder of the times that we're living through. In the visual for the song, you really begin to see what they are mentioning when they say end of days. Specifically, they say, why oh why are the kids afraid? And why wouldn't you be afraid when you're looking at the TV and constantly, day after day, you're seeing people being killed, you're seeing coronavirus deaths going up, and you're just seeing all of these things that make you feel like this is the apocalypse. From the resurgence in our consciousness to the resurfacing of issues we should have been dealt with, that Rona has taken a backseat to other pandemics. And in today's episode, we will look at one: police brutality. That's a whole lot of art. In order to allow all of it to digest, let's take a passing period into the next segment.
Fuck Lori Lightfoot! Fuck Lori Lightfoot! Fuck Lori Lightfoot!
Lori Lightfoot says that when people say we need to defund the police, there is no community support for this call for defunding the police. Do you feel that there's community support for this issue?
Most definitely, and I don't know where or how Lori got that consensus, because from most of the people that I know at these protests and that have been doing this work, it's kind of like a one mind and one idea is like defund. Like most of the youth agrees that we need to defund and reallocate funds. So I'm not sure where she got that from, but I disagree and I digress. She's just living in a fantasy world apparently, or whatever it is.
You are now hearing from my brother Josiah Plummer, who is a youth organizer with Equity and Transformation, or EAT for short. EAT advocates for equity of Black people involved in the informal economy, which includes sex workers and formerly incarcerated people. And in addition to his work with EAT, my brother and I have been to a few protests where the consensus has been that Lori Lightfoot is not really listening to the youth. Because of that, Josiah says, she will be a one-term mayor.
I believe that the people are losing faith in her by the day, and she ran on progressive policy, and it's not looking too progressive. Now, we could say it's not her fault, it's Rom's fault, but she's part of the reason too, and I think it would reflect once we vote.
After a multitude of protests last summer, it seems that Chicago's youth are ready for a change. And my brother Josiah had a chance to go to some of the protests and shared his experiences with the police, as well as other experiences with police brutality.
I was at a protest, this was a couple weeks ago, and I was like out on Columbus Drive, and we were making a turn. So then we realized when we made the turn that cops were messing with some people in the back, so we all booked it back there, and we were just trying to protect our friends. They ended up taking 2 or 3 of them, so I was just trying to make sure everybody was safe, and I ended up like getting tangled up with with the cops, like, because I ran, but I didn't know where I was. Like, it was a lot going on, so I just ended up behind them somehow. And then they started pushing me with the bike, so I started pushing them, and then we're going back and forth. They trying to detain me. I got pictures of it and all, and people got it on their phones, and it's like, that situation didn't have to happen like that. And then there was an instance where they pulled me over and was like, oh, your lights were off. And I'm like, you couldn't have just flashed me like most cops do it. The lady was like on 10, like you could look at it in her eyes and tell she had been through something. And Javonna remembers, because we were just sitting in the car driving, and then she came up and her partner was banging on the window. They doing all this aggressive BS for what reason? We not angry arguing with you, we trying to be calm, and she was just on 10. So.
And then this was the day after Jason Van Dyke was convicted for killing Laquan McDonald. So I feel like after that, cops were in shock almost, because they didn't expect that to happen. And she just seemed to be really reactionary, and it was just like a scary moment, because I'm just sitting there doing nothing, and they just come to the side of the window and start banging on the window with the flashlight, and like they're looking in the car, and I'm like, I don't have anything, we didn't do anything. But when you have black skin, you're immediately criminalized.
Yeah, you know how that's just how it is for us. We are seen as a weapon just because of the color of our skin, and we aren't given fair shakes. We aren't given the shadow of a doubt. We're you know, it's I don't know. It's not. There's no words you can really say to even explain it, because you've seen it all. You can be calm, and it'll happen. You can be a little upset or emotional, it'll happen. You can just be smoking a cigarette and it can happen. Just be selling loose cigarettes and it can happen. You can be sleeping peacefully and not doing a thing, and it'll happen. You can be sitting in a car when you just left a party, and it's so many instances and it's so many cases, and I don't understand how you can't see that now.
I think it's worth noting that the cop in that story we just mentioned was a black woman. So when we say, oh, we just need more black people in these police departments, oh, we just need more people of color in these police departments, we've tried these reforms and these reforms haven't worked. So at this point, we need to re-envision community safety where there's not this reliance on cops, because obviously they're not keeping the communities safe. This just goes to show that all skin folk ain't kinfolk, which is a quote that most of us should be familiar with by now. But I also have one where I say some people aren't a POC, they're just a POS. And I know everybody has an opinion on this topic, so that is why I am now going to direct you to our Facebook page where you can leave a comment on today's episode. If you're enjoying what you heard on today's episode, go to rebelmedia.com/leave a comment to leave a comment about what stood out to you today. That's Rwebel, RWEBEL, media.com/leave a comment.
Wrap it up then.
Who doesn't love a good play on words? To close out the show, here are 3 freestyles in under 3 minutes.
Wrap it up then.
So now, the moment you have all been waiting for patiently, you probably haven't. But anyway, we are going to get on to the freestyle battle. Yeah. Da. We gonna get it started like we just a party, and I fucking farted on the beat. Ooh. Call that shit, ooh. Yeah, I'm with, ooh, ba, ba, da. For the sake of your eardrums, I will not be releasing the rest of the audio from round 1. It was just too much. I don't know what I thought when I hopped on a Kendrick Lamar beat. So the next beat we did was Baguetti, which is a song by Smino, Jid, and produced by Kenny Beats.
Yeah, you be so livid, and yeah, you know we trippin', but we ain't never trippin'. We trippin', taking bottle, and yeah, we got some, I don't know, but we super fly, though, and yeah, we got a photo, and yeah, we be so low, though, cause you know we so low, though, and we never do that, but you know we got our boo back, and you know we ain't blew that. We ain't blew that check, I don't know, but I never wrecked nothing like this. before. I never wanna be the one to snore.
So, on the final round, we both hopped onto End of Days, which is the track that I mentioned earlier in Art Echo. And I think that one went out pretty smooth as well. I'm gonna get away and I'm taking it from Jay, but I'm really kinda Jay and I got some shit to say. It's the end of days, end of times, end of life, but not end of rhymes. We coming to a new light, get it right. We coming to a new light, get it right. And his phone keeps slipping, but I ain't tripping. I'm gonna keep kicking, gonna keep go and I keep flowing and I keep going cause I keep glowing cause I'm always showing and I'm always knowing what to do. Ooh, I don't know about you. Ooh, but I'm trying to get a little boo. Ooh, and I got this walk for you. Ooh,
And yeah, I know what it do. And yeah, I know I ain't never been brand new. Yeah, I ain't had my shoe when I tried. Yeah, I never had no pride. But you know I'm really down to ride. And you know we can slide if it's that low. And you know we be coming through the fucking back door. And you know we never clap on for nobody. But you know we did this shit up in the lobby. Yeah, we lobbyists, we gotta get it. Yeah, we gotta take a minute, take a little second. And we ain't never second, but we be in our prime. Oh wait, yeah, that's 2 more months to blow up. I don't really know yet, but I'm finna show ya how I'm really going.
although today's episode may have seemed a little unorthodox, as the protesters from the organizations Black Rising and Good Kids Mad City told us in Chicago outside of Lori Lightfoot's house, Black joy is revolutionary. So as we talk about defunding the police, we also take time to release some of that joy and to distract ourselves from everything that is going on, which is what we did on today's episode. I hope you enjoyed, and boy, how much joy I have in store for you. Until next time, stay rowdy, stay regal, and stay rebellious. Thanks for listening.